Welcome to the Beyond the Build podcast, where we explore the inspiring stories of everyday people from all walks of life who prioritize fitness and healthy living despite their unique backgrounds and challenges. Through honest conversations about their upbringing, personal growth, and their relationship with food, each episode aims to eliminate excuses and empower listeners to take ownership of their health by showing that someone just like them is already doing it. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share it with someone who could find value in it. And with that, sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Beyond the Build podcast. Today we have joining us Thalia. Met her through a mutual friend. One of the overarching topics we cover for most of the episode is focusing on health is wealth. When she was younger, kind of going back to when she was in college, she had a pretty serious sinus infection, developed into a cyst, and had to get some surgery on her skull to get that removed. And then as we were scheduling this podcast, we had to reschedule it a couple times because she found out that that same sinus issue had returned and she had to get surgery again, was dealing with some really bad vertigo. And actually the first time she had the surgery, she just had conductive hearing loss, was deaf in 1 ear for a while. And so that really affected just balance and headaches and all kinds of things. So without modern medicine, it could have been a lot worse. Another cool part of her story is that during COVID, she was not really having a good experience with the gym clothing brands that were out there and how they fit and how they functioned. And so she founded her own clothing brand. Just started with a sewing machine at home and ended up turning it into a full enterprise with a manufacturer and the whole works. So that's a really cool story, as well as kind of how she turned that into personal training services, and now is no longer really building either of those brands, more transitioned into a different direction in her career. But a lot of laughs on this episode. Had a great time hanging out, and excited for you guys to hear our first female guest on the show. Actually, next week we'll have another female guest. So for those of you that have been waiting for a female guest, we got 2 in a row now. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right. Well, welcome back. We're here. This is episode 16, I believe. Today we have Thalia. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Is that, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. How are you feeling? I know you kind of just recently had some health issues, some surgeries, but you're recovering. How's that been?
Yeah, going really well. I had uh it's called a mastoidectomy, so it's a skull-based surgery. I think is like the right terminology. It's kind of funky because they go into your skull, but it's not as nearly as like invasive as like brain surgery. Your skull, I guess, is like actually a lot more resilient than your brain. So outpatient, no big deal, but of course, like any surgery can be a little painful. I'm a little older now than the first time I had the surgery, so recovered a little bit slow, but it's just a good example of like why health is wealth and like taking care of yourself long term. One of the things that's like a contributing factor for the issue that I had was getting sick. Having like an overproduction of mucus can kind of lead to a reoccurrence of a cholesteatoma, which is what I initially had. So just like remembering how kind of like when you're stuffy and you remember what it's like to breathe without a stuffed nose, like
Yeah.
whenever you have a health issue, remembering the value of not, of not
Mhm.
dealing with anything and just taking care of yourself, like being more proactive and preventative, how valuable that is, to be honest. It was a good reminder for that.
Yeah, that's so true. So you're saying that like when you were sick, that would cause it to be more common?
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually know a little bit too much about this type of thing just because of how like I had it, but a cholesteatoma is like essentially like my surgeon calls it a tumor, but that sounds scary, right? So I
Yeah.
call it a cyst. But essentially what it is when you're a kid, your eustachian tubes are more horizontal. So I don't know if when you were a kid, did you get a lot of ear infections or no?
I don't remember, so maybe
Really?
not. I don't know.
Well, like, a lot like, ear infections are a lot more common for younger people, like, younger
Yeah, I've heard that.
because, like, your eustachian tubes are more horizontal, and what your eustachian tubes actually do is drain the fluid that's in your, like, ear, nose, and throat area. Mine happened to be very horizontal. So, as a kid, I had a lot of ear infections, but as I grew and got older, I'm supposed to stretch out and get more they're supposed to get more vertical. but
Mm,
unfortunately, they didn't. So
mm,
what happened was is that the collection of fluid and the lack of proper drainage created a cyst inside of my mastoid bone, and that area of like my ear kind of. It's kind of like hard to explain, my inner ear. And it destroyed some of my hearing infrastructure. So it was around my facial nerve that moves the side of my face. It had destroyed some of the bone protecting my brain, some of the bone protecting my jugular, and it had destroyed my stapes, which is a hearing bone. So I had conductive hearing loss, and I
dang.
was completely deaf in my right ear actually for a
Wow.
while. Yeah. Um, but being sick, how I became symptomatic actually was because I got the flu.
Mm,
And it, like, accelerated my symptoms because the tumor itself almost got, like, inflamed from being sick and, like,
yeah.
almost engorged, for lack of a better word. So it, like, taught me, like, wow, like, getting sick constantly and having, like, an overproduction of mucus is was literally destroying my hearing. It was putting me at risk for facial paralysis. Technically, like, if we didn't have, like, Western medicine in the way
Mhm.
that we do now, it could have properly killed me, like, not to mention before killing me, it would have disfigured me and disabled me, you know? So, it was pretty scary, and so, like, that's why ever since then, I did a really aggressive tactic before my surgery, actually. So, I was drinking a ton of water, which standard, but I also like cut out gluten, cut out sugar, cut out anything that is known to be a bit more inflammatory, even though I didn't
Yeah.
personally have any dietary restrictions, but
Yeah.
I did that and I actually was taking some herbs that are like kind of known as blood thinners, but they're also known to help thin out mucus in your body.
Mm,
So I started doing that for a couple of weeks, and it's crazy because when someone gets a cholesteatoma, they usually have two surgeries. They have a cholesteatoma removal, and they have what's called a second look surgery. The
mhm.
second look surgery is when they go in and they make sure that there's nothing left, and they sometimes usually restore the hearing, whether it's through a stapes or a prosthetic, I should say, or
Mhm.
however else they do it. How they did it for me was through a prosthetic. My ear was actually not infected, and the tissue was really healthy, so they did both my
Nice.
surgeries in one go, which is
Nice.
really good and awesome for me
Yeah.
because of that work that I did to try to, like, get myself healthier, and I understood the tissue is infected, the tumor or, like, the cyst is infected. I need to get healthier for my surgery to go better, for it to shrink so it's easier to remove, and, I honestly didn't think that I would be get my hearing restored that quickly, but it was like it never happened.
Wow.
So
Is
this
that
last time
something?
when I heard about it, I was like, "No, it's grew back," but because some people it reoccurs a lot and they had the surgery like every 5 to 10 years,
Wow.
but it sounded like it was just scar tissue, no cholesteatoma, so they removed it and they gave me a little bone graft, I think he said, and, yeah, so it was a reminder like, "Hey, when I get sick, like, I need to be vigilant, like,
Yeah.
I need to do the work to, like, drink a lot of water, thin out the mucus, like, take vitamin C to, like, shorten the time period that I'm sick. Because if I have a sinus infection or an ear infection, like, that could be really detrimental to the health of my ears, and, like,
Mm,
it's crazy, like, having a sense put at risk, I was like, "Oh my god, what if I never hear music the same?" You know, or,
dang.
like,
Yeah.
what if I always struggle I struggled really badly at that time, and I was in college, so in lectures, at the movie theaters, like,
Yeah.
it's not what people think being deaf in one ear, it's not like you just don't hear as well, it's like you are deaf to this side of the world.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, turn, you have to like, it's very weird.
Yeah.
I had very bad vertigo, and it was just not a good experience, but dealing with, like, the risk of losing a sense in that way is always, like, scary.
Yeah. And then now you're like 10 times more grateful for your hearing than any of us who've never gone through that. So,
For sure.
yeah.
Makes you really grateful, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's super true. Just thinking of like when I'm sick and I'm just trying to like fall asleep, but I can't like breathe through my nose or something. I'm just like, mouth breathing. It's so terrible. It's like my least favorite thing. But
For sure.
yeah, awesome. Well, I think we met initially through Kate, through mutual connection. Um, and I learned a little bit about your backstory, and I was like, oh, I gotta see if Talia would be down for like a podcast. She's got a great story. So thank you for being here. Made it happen. Yeah, I know that you had kind of a journey through just like building, like getting like certified as a with like nutrition and fitness and stuff like that, training people, building a successful athletic wear brand. I guess how did that all come to fruition, or where did that start? Did you grow up being like active and in the gym, or like how did that start?
Yeah, so my family's super active. My mom was really into fitness growing up. My stepdad is really, they're both really into fitness. They both work out very regularly.
Yeah.
My stepdad is like into running marathons. My mom, when I was younger, was focused on like fitness competitions, but not in the
Okay.
same way, like not bodybuilding as much, but
Yeah.
more like, do you remember Hawaiian Tropics? It,
Yeah.
yeah, like a Hawaiian Tropics kind of thing. So,
Okay.
I grew up around like people who were like more fitness conscious for sure. I started going to the gym when I was like 12 years old. I went to youth
Okay.
with my mom on her guest pass and
Mm-hmm.
would go with her before school. So I was pretty privy to the gym, and it just felt like a normal part of life for me that you exercise. You know, you go to the gym, you go for runs. That was relatively part of like my worldview on what you should do
Yeah.
to stay healthy. Joined the swim team in high school, and I played water polo. I was varsity captain of our water polo team and our swim team,
Wow.
and that kind of made it so I was even more interested in the gym because I'm smaller. So I'm around 5'2", and
Oh,
that can
okay.
be a disadvantage in water polo because you can't get out of the water as much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's body to get out of the water.
I feel like long arms or long limbs in general is good for just like throwing the
Yep.
ball or whatever.
Exactly, like and for swim, right? Because,
Yeah.
like,
Your
people
strokes.
yeah, and they have more of them to get across the pool a lot quicker, so
Yeah.
I definitely worked out really hard during that time of my life to, for performance.
Mm.
I wanted to kind of o overcompensate for my size at that time, and, I kinda just moved forward. I graduated college. I dealt with my ear issue. Health. To me, it's so funny. I was just going to talk about this. Health and fitness are two different things. I am much better at fitness than I am at health.
Yeah.
I told someone today, I said the parasites in my belly want Chips Ahoy. Like, I don't think they're actually parasites, but something in my stomach, and it's not me, has a
Yeah.
sweet tooth. Like,
The gut microbiome is like, give me this.
exactly. Like, um, so I've always been really good at fitness, and health has always been a secondary function for me.
Mhm.
Actually, like ironically, I got rhabdo in 2016, which is like really hard to do as a teenage girl who's working out at UFit, where like they had like one free weight. Like I managed to get rhabdo in my right bicep. Like I
Man.
really hard. Nutrition wasn't that important to me at the time. After my ear, that kind of shifted. I started focusing more and more on my health and more on what I put into my body and how that impacted my performance and my physique. I was still really young, like 18, 19, 20s, kind of like that journey.
Mm.
Um, I kind of started putting the pieces together a bit more. I understood, like, I knew those phrases like abs are made in the kitchen, nutrition's 90%. And I was like, you guys don't get it.
Yeah.
I I like to work out. Like I genuinely enjoy exercising, where it's like I'm
Yeah.
not working out always to look a certain way. I'm young, my metabolism is high. I'm going to eat this entire box of donuts and I might throw up. Like that's
You're like, this is what part of why I work out, so I can just
yeah.
eat.
Which is like super unhealthy, super like teenager mentality. And
Yeah.
it didn't make me feel good. Like,
Mhm.
I always kind of felt like crap, like, I'd always have headaches. I lived off of, like, Diet Coke and
Mm.
just, like, didn't have, like, really healthy mentalities. There were quite a few times, especially, like, you go to McDonald's and stuff your face before a game, and you're, like, pushing it to the limit, and you're like, "I'm going to throw up in this gutter, like, in this gutter."
Or
Uh,
in this pool.
yeah, and everyone's gonna have to get out.
Yeah.
But no, um I kinda connected those dots and I started, like, maturing and realizing how important nutrition was and implementing that into, like, my fitness schema, I guess, like, the way
Yeah.
that I saw health and wellness in general. And I really started to see significant impacts on my physique. You know, it turns out it's true, right? Like,
Yeah. It's
how
like,
you
light
eat.
bulb.
Yeah. How you eat and, like, your macros, and I think, like, I tended to be the kind of person who, like, wouldn't eat enough, and then what I did eat sucked, you know? So it's like, I'm getting hit on both sides. Like, I'm not eating nutritionally dense foods, I'm not getting a lot of protein in, and then I'm just generally under eating, right? So I'm always fatigued, I'm always, like, struggling and performance-wise. And I started getting pretty strong really fast, honestly. My mom is she's really small. She's like 100 pounds.
Mm.
And we'll be at the gym now, and she's still squatting like 205, 225.
Wow.
And she's in her mid 40s. Um, Not really that consistent, like she's not
Yeah.
on crazy training routine, and she can squat that much weight pretty easy.
It's
So
impressive, yeah.
she
Especially for her
definitely,
size.
like. Say that again? Sorry.
Especially for her size, that's impressive.
Yeah, she's tiny, like, you're, like, not even, like, moving that much, like, the range of motion is, like, limited,
Yeah.
um, but I started getting pretty strong pretty fast, and that was kind of a trigger for me, like, a trigger point to really take it seriously and see how far I could take it,
Yeah.
and I also had an interest in gym clothes. I didn't really like what was out there. Especially at the time, like, Gymshark was kinda, like, starting to get popular, but, like, Young LA wasn't really there. Like,
Didn't
right now, there's
exist, yeah.
No, or One are Active, or, Set Active. Like, these weren't brands that people knew. It was, like, Nike,
Mm.
what you could find at TJ Maxx,
Yeah.
some old T-shirts from your high school, like,
Yeah.
that's what people worked out in. I used to, like, cut T-shirts and, like, wear it with, like, Victoria's Secret's yoga shorts, like,
Yeah.
I was in matching sets or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't like Lululemon. I felt like it was, like, very unflattering for my body type, to be honest.
Mm.
I wanted something that was, like, more complementary to a more athletic build, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not, like, naturally not a super curvy girl. I don't, like, hold a lot of body fat in my lower body. Um but I'm also, like, not super thin. I have more of an athletic build, to be honest, and so sometimes things
Yeah.
be, like, really constricting and make me look super square, or sometimes things are just like, I don't got all that to, like, work with this very,
Yeah, yeah.
um an outfit that would look very complimentary for, like, a more, like, curvy girl, you know?
Mhm.
So kind of finding that middle ground was really important to me, and COVID happened. So I bought a sewing machine, and I decided that what I was going to do was actually make my own gym clothes. And I did. I started, like, I was watching Law and Order, cutting up fabric, learning how to sew, and I got better and better. I made my first set that I felt comfortable actually wearing to the gym and didn't think it was gonna, like, tear in the middle. And recorded it, posted it on TikTok. I was at Crunch. It was my first TikTok that I posted on that account ever, and it got through like 2.3 million views at first. It might be
Wow.
closer to 3 million now. I just woke up and it just had blown up.
First one.
Yeah, just really lucky. I was, like, honestly super, like, I liked what Kate said. Like, I was super authentic. I was like, "Hey, I did this because I don't like how gym clothes look on me." Like, I wear a lot of funky stuff that makes it look like I peed myself, or is just super unflattering, or, like, falls apart. Like, I have funny videos of me tearing leggings in that clip specifically.
Mhm.
Not my real style, and now I think it's a lot more common. I don't think that I set this trend, but I think that I did, uh,
Kind of accelerate it.
not I anticipated it.
Mm,
I don't think I started it, but I definitely anticipated it, which was a mix of urban style and like some
mm,
more like normal clothing styles being embedded in gym clothes.
yeah, yeah.
So the first piece that I made was a single shoulder top,
Hmm.
which normally at that time, like you wouldn't see someone wear that to the gym. You might see someone wearing a single shoulder top out at the mall,
Yeah,
the club, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But like you weren't gonna see them wear that at the gym in like late
Right.
18, really. It was more like standard, you know, built-in bra, sports bra. Like we had like these very strict schemas of what we thought about gym clothes.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, like, I started embedding, like, a bolero, uh, which, like, is more of an urban style, now starting to get a little bit popular in gym clothes. A straight neck, which is, like, more stylistic of like, of clothes you wear out. So it's like I
Mm,
released a lot of these styles that weren't new. They were just characteristic of, um clothes that you'd wear out and about, and
yeah.
just kind of like restructured them to be more favorable for like the gym.
Yeah.
And I think that's really popular right now outside of like gym shorts, but like a lot of the styles that we're seeing of people wear to the gym, they're like clothing styles that we've seen for a while, but probably more so in like urban style or like junior youth wear,
Hmm.
but what they used to wear just not necessarily at the gym.
Yeah.
Um, and that started everything. I realized that in order to build my athletic apparel brand, an easy way to do it would be to build my personal brand. And
Hmm.
so I didn't consider myself an expert, but I did know that I had been working out for a very long time. And I had worked out during different phases of my life. And I wasn't the kind of person that was gung ho, easy for me always to like eat the right thing and like follow the right structure. Like I was like an instant gratification kind of girl, you know? Like
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
PR'd every time I worked out for like a year straight, like or not PR'd. I tried to PR, I should say.
Okay, okay. I was
I
like, wow.
pulled I wasn't successfully doing it. Like
Yeah.
I tried to pull a new weight every single time I deadlifted. No, I destroying my back for an extended period of time. Like
Oh man, yeah.
I was an instant gratification kind of person. So what I could bring was like authenticity. Like I understood the balance between like the real reason and why a lot of people want to work out and also like balancing that with reality, right?
Yeah.
Very difficult to do a lot of things like make meaningful change in your lifestyle, like develop healthy habits, kind of be patient
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
respect the process. Like I wish that I had done a better job at that. I struggled with like some pretty severe back injuries because of that bad habit of like not like really baking in proper procedure to like limit like the stress my nervous system was going under, like
Mm,
my back was going under.
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what started it, to be honest.
Wow. So did you have experience like using a sewing machine before, or like you're just like, let me just stitch this together right here?
I like as a kid, I was always into like fashion. Like I would take like clothing that I had and I'd have like an emergency sewing kit that my mom would get at like Dollar General or something.
Mm,
And I would use it to like sew things together, sew clothes up for my dolls. I took a sewing class at the Boys and Girls Club when I
okay.
was 8 and I made my mom a teddy bear. And it stuck with me. Like I sew things by hand sometimes just to like make little fixes. I have like I still have it. It's in my office, a
Mm,
whole sewing station. I sew things up for my friends. I love to sew, to be honest,
mm,
but I never used a sewing machine before then because I was watching a lot of YouTube University,
yeah. Good
vlog.
old YouTube University. Everything's on there. No, that's cool. I feel like once you have that like skill set and you're like, I know how to place this to make sure that, and I know where to stitch it and how to cut it. Like once you have that skill set, I feel like you would just like look at clothes and be
Just like,
like, that's $80? I'm gonna make that for like 15 bucks. Hold on. Let me just make my own. Like that's
yeah.
how I would just look at clothes. I don't know if you have that just like when you're shopping and stuff.
I've made almost like every Halloween costume since.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like I was She-Hulk one year.
Okay.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Spend $120 on like some like obscure leotard that's like on one website. Who knows if it's a scam? Because like
Yeah, it shows up, it smells weird. It doesn't, it's like
yeah,
the
and
size
this
is weird.
is for her show too. So like
Yeah.
I just made it. I made from Atlantis. I'm blanking on her name.
Uh,
The Atlantis, Kita.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I made that. I made an alien costume. I do that a lot, but I do a lot of fixing of my clothes and a lot of
Hmm.
altering. Like I'll thrift and then
Mm,
I'll be like,
hmm.
okay, like let's put some darts in here. Like
Yeah.
one thing that is true, like sometimes this like vintage clothing or like this older clothing, like it's really good quality fabric, but
Yeah.
to make it like, fit you and look proper on you, like being able to sew is like a huge skill set. I altered my bridesmaids dresses. I've altered a couple of bridesmaid dresses to be honest, like for myself and for my friends. So that's always like a good skill to have because it's like these people will charge you like $200
Like
even
so
though
much.
yeah.
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 No, that's cool. I'll go thrifting sometimes. I'm like, I really like this, but I'm not a triple XL. And
Yeah.
I just like put it back. Like, and so that's actually dope.
Yep. It's definitely it's like a little hack.
Yeah. Man, now I need to get into that. I need to learn the ways.
It's a worthwhile skill. I think that like
Yeah.
I think especially like I've tried to like practice like minimalism like at different
Mm,
points in my life, like try to like buy things secondhand and like be more like conscious about like, hey, like I'm buying this and like I'll wear it once and then never wear it again. Um,
yeah.
so I think it like, if there's ever an apocalypse, it'll be a solid skill to have.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those like self-sufficient skills.
Now I have to learn how to farm.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of trending right now. Like everybody's like wanting to have some sort of garden or just buy land and just have their own
Yeah, like
just
homesteading.
whatever. Yeah.
I love the beef tallow videos. I don't really
Yeah.
understand what's going on, but I'm enjoying watching.
Yeah.
Like, what is that, and why does it look like that?
Yeah, what is that? There's this ad. I get like 15 of this ad like every day on my Instagram, but it's like beef tallow soap. And it's like apparently works really good with like
Clearing your
the
skin.
skin. Yeah. But it always makes every time I see the ad, I always think of like the SpongeBob episode where Mr. Krabs is like giving like beef fat to his daughter Pearl and it like makes her just super break out because it's
Yeah.
literally just like the grease from the grill with like probably hamburger bits in it.
Yeah. No,
But
I agree.
yeah.
It doesn't seem intuitive. Like, it does
Yeah.
there's not much about it. I mean, like, I get, like, that concept that, like, if your skin is dry, you overproduce oil, so
Mhm.
that can make you break out, but, like, what would beef tallow do differently that, like, my, uh, CeraVe does,
Right.
no?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Doesn't
like, "Why
make
is this
sense.
$40?"
Yeah.
No, I agree. I get got on TikTok Shop. Bought, like, this beef towel moisturizer, and it was fine, but I think, like, base moisturizer is, like, one of those things that they're, like, really affordable, solid options, so it, like, never makes sense to me to kinda, like, go a little crazy. My mom
Yeah.
actually is, like, the district loss prevention manager of Sephora too.
Okay.
So, I get a little bit of context and, like, she gets gratis to, like, try products, so she used to a lot more, but she'll tell me, like, "Oh, that one's really good, this one's not that good," and she'll be
Mm.
like, "This one's not that good," and it's, like, $120, like, because I asked her for recommendations
Dang.
what I should buy, and I'm like, "How do they get away with that?" It's crazy.
Man, yeah, I guess it's like they've got their stuff that's working over here and like, you want to get into face wash? Yeah, let's just throw something out there, put our brand on it. People will buy it.
And
It's
it's,
like
like, just normal face soap, like,
normal. Yeah. It's like
it's
stick
crazy.
stick to what you're good at over here.
Yeah.
That's good insight though. It'd be like, hey
Yeah,
mom, is this
I
good?
I definitely do. She has all the inside scoop on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. for sure. So then you're building your clothing brand. At this point, were you like doing any personal training at all, or when did that come in?
That came in after. So it's funny because Casanova really did really well, and it was like a really great experience. But I was newer, so I at first like started hand making everything and selling it on Depop,
Yeah.
and I could not sustain that. I was already working full time like in marketing at that time, and so I was like going to work, coming home, trying to make all these things. I was like freaking out, like oh my god, I can't, like
Yeah, yeah.
really, really in the weeds. Um, so I realized like, okay, this is not going to work, right? So I closed down my Depop shop. Finished my orders. I didn't let anyone buy anymore, and I found a
Mm,
manufacturer through Alibaba.
yeah.
I was looking around, asked people like, how much are you going to charge me for a sample, right? And I learned how to make what's called like a tech pack, and like send them over like the samples that I had made. I did my hand at a tech pack, and sent it over, and they charged me I think like $200 or $300 for samples for the first set that I had made, which was just the single shoulder and shorts,
Mhm,
and got it a couple weeks later. And it was great. Honestly, they made exactly what I envisioned. Of course, like it was similar to what I had already made, but like even
mhm,
better. One of the big things was making it double lined for me because the
mm.
immediate layer would absorb the sweat, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't sweat through as nearly as easily.
Nice, nice.
Which now I feel like polyester spandex blends aren't as nearly as common. Like now it's like that true like thick spandex cotton blend almost that's like
Mhm.
doesn't really show sweat as much anymore.
Yeah.
So like we've made progressions, but that was our immediate selling point. I made a order with them and made my first order. I think I dropped like 3 grand for my first order, which was like all the money I had, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I waited, right? And of course, like I lost steam. Like my TikTok went viral, but I wasn't expecting that. Like, or not even viral, but it got a lot of views, right? So
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
wasn't
Millions.
expecting that. And so I just realized like I needed to keep up this theme. Like I needed to keep posting and get things to do well. So
Mhm.
that way when I got my orders in, I could sell out and make my $3,000 back, right?
Yeah.
I started posting just random stuff that I like to do, like things at the gym that I like to do, trends, showing like I did like a lot of like fun party tricks, like the punching bag at the gym,
Mhm.
sit up punching bags,
Oh, yeah.
kind of slowing them down, doing them in slow mo to a song. The thing like fun party tricks that I had already kind of like learned how to do just for fun
Mhm.
at the gym. And then so that way when I had launched, I was able to get I sold out pretty fast and I was able to launch a couple of different product lines. It was really cool.
Nice.
And the thing is though is that like I would always underestimate how many I would sell. So I would have
Mm,
like lags a period of time where like I wasn't necessarily selling Casanova. I was just posting because there was nothing to buy and
mm,
trying to grow my personal brand. And that took off pretty substantially. Like I would say like my account was no longer about Casanova. It was about me. And
mhm.
Casanova was something that I did. And so that's when I realized like people were interested in like workout plans and like personal coaching. So I built a Shopify website. I've always been a bit more computer savvy because like you work in marketing. So
Mhm.
my background's marketing operations.
Okay.
So like the actual like tech side is like where I'm a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
Um so I made like a Shopify site, set up um some like digital deliverables and subscriptions for coaching. And I started marketing it, just saying, like, hey, I'm offering this now. And it's funny, I actually Googled myself the other day and someone posted my one of my workout plans on Reddit. Like how
Hmm.
they buy them and then post them for free on Reddit. I was like, hey, that's not nice.
Hey, let's not do that.
Yeah. But you know what, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that that was like a revenue stream that I was missing, like as part of like my comprehensive business. And it did pretty well. The coaching was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I was like NASM certified as a personal trainer and as a certified nutrition coach.
Mm.
And I would do nutrition coaching, but I would never I would never work out of scope for like dietary, for like as a dietitian or a nutritionist. So
Yeah, yeah.
predominantly do is provide like macros that were best suited for like their weight loss goals and their physique goals. And then I would
Mm.
give example meal plan and foods that I would like recommend to avoid because they were very like hyper palatable, like hard to fit them into your macros, and then
Yeah,
that like would help you that were like more volume orientated that like, hey, if you're like really hungry with the macros that you have, these are some things that you can do until you acclimate.
yeah,
Like very, very realistic nutrition coaching. So like 2 to 300 calorie deficits, nothing too
yeah,
crazy.
very doable.
Yeah. Like you might not even notice, like some people are more sensitive to
Mhm.
deficits, but I think some people didn't even notice that they were eating 2 to 300 calories less a day.
Yeah.
And then very like personalized coaching plans for like their goals as well. Most people had physique goals. Some people had strength goals, but most of my clients were more physique orientated. One of my clients actually, I think I mentioned this. She ended up like outgrowing me, getting a new coach, and she became an IFBB pro.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kinda cool. It's like,
Yeah, she's
"You
like
go."
I was her first coach,
Yeah,
so I can't, like, take credit for anything afterwards, but it was cool to, like, see her grow, like, she got, like, really good results for, like, what we were doing, like, physique-wise, but it was, like, more of, like, a lifestyle. All the coaching I
yeah.
do is lifestyle. I'm not a bodybuilder. I, like even
That's a whole 'nother tier. Yeah,
if I belonged to a school, I would be a power lifter before a bodybuilder, to be honest.
yeah.
I'm not a bodybuilder, so, like, we only did, like, lifestyle training, like, meeting physique goals that were, like, obtainable and realistic and sustainable, really.
Yeah,
But it was fun. That part was fun. I got to meet a lot of really great, women, who were really motivated and really fun to work with.
that's awesome. What would you say is, like, the biggest struggle that people, like, would run into that they needed help with?
Macros.
Mm,
I
just,
think
like, how to conceptualize it? It's just something they've never thought about or yeah?
yeah, and tracking.
Tracking, yeah.
The idea of measuring your food for some people is very difficult. And I
Mhm.
don't blame them because no one wants to feel like they have to put I have Invisalign. The other day I thought, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until I don't have to take out my teeth and eat and then go brush my teeth and then go
Yeah.
floss. Like it is a chore? So like
Yeah, yeah.
I understand like if you're not used to it. The first time I started tracking macros I was like 17, 18 years old, which probably maybe even a little too young, but I have been doing it for like a really long time. Like I understand a lot of the nuances. I know a lot of cheat like shortcuts and you're like I'm just going to cook this bag of rice. Like I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about like what the macros are. Like
Yeah.
you figure it out. Of course like now I also know that like eating for nutrition or like eating nutrient dense meals
Yeah.
versus eating on macros isn't necessarily conducive. Like the
Mhm.
amount of Rice Krispies I've consumed in my life, there probably are parasites in my stomach. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, yeah.
free puddings.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
But at the same time, like that concept for people is like can cause a lot of cognitive dissonance. Like it
Mhm.
can feel disruptive to their life and to like how they want to live. It can feel like too much and not sustainable. And so like kind of like reconciling that. Like, listen, tracking isn't the only way.
Mhm.
There are plenty of people out there who portion control, who eat more intuitively, who do certain tactics to kind of get themselves in a deficit.
Yeah.
It might not be as, controlled and manufactured as when you're eating exactly on your macros, but whether their goals are to lose weight or to put on muscle, they get there.
Right.
I'm a firm believer that eating on macros, like for aligned with your goals will accelerate the path. It's
Yeah,
always
for sure.
to me, it's always faster. You're eating the enough protein every day, so you put on the muscles that you want. You put on the
Yeah.
muscle mass that you wanna put on, or you're trying to lose weight or do body recomp, so your deficit is, like, facilitating that, you know?
Mhm.
And, so I had a lot of clients that struggled with that. I think to me, what's most important is what you'll do.
Yeah, what's sustainable and the
Yeah.
most important thing is the thing that you're gonna actually do.
Yeah, what's sustainable? Like, if you're telling me, like, "Lady, I'm not gonna track my macros. I refuse to buy this food scale you talk about. I my mom cooks my dinners," and, because a lot of
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
like, even in, like, their college years, like, they're still living at home, and they're not gonna tell their mom, like, "How did you put 2 tablespoons of olive oil?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, they're
Like,
not doing that.
that's just not gonna happen, you know? So,
Yeah,
I think that, like, taking an approach that was, like, conducive to what they could, like, "Hey, like, why don't we do this? Let's track to make sure that you're hitting your protein goal,"
yeah. Start
right?
there.
Whether, it's as accurate as possible is whatever, but, like, let's make sure your protein shake that you're drinking in the morning and, the protein bar you had at lunch, plus, like, you ate probably around, like, 4 ounces of chicken, and then, like, your mom made shrimp, and you probably ate, like, 3 ounces, right? So, like, let's put that in. Approximately how many grams of protein did you eat? Is that on par, right? Because your goal is body recomp and you're cognizant of your dietary habits, and it's kind of like within like the realm of possibility for you to kind of just eat less because you're thinking about it and you're hitting your protein every day, then
Mhm.
all right, let's go. Like, we're going to get to where we want to get. Some
Yeah,
people have trouble with overeating, or there's different circumstances that other people have that it's important to be mindful of, and everyone's different. But that was definitely, like, the biggest obstacle, and I get it. I don't track 365 days out of the year. I
mhm.
take breaks
Yeah.
because there's no way I'm gonna figure out how much this cookie that this guy at my job just gave me, how many
Yeah.
calories are in it. Who knows? It could be 90 or it could be 322, like,
Yeah.
you
Or,
know?
like, if you're traveling or
Yeah.
holidays, you go to, like, a potluck and somebody brings some homemade thing, you're like, I don't I'm just gonna look for protein before I go to that event, like,
Yeah, you're
it's
like,
so hard
"Alright."
to tell.
I was heavier. I don't like personally, like, I respect people who do, but, like, I don't wanna be the Tupperware lady at the potluck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna do that. I
Yeah.
respect the people who do, but for me, it's just not what I wanna do, at least not at this point in my life. I think that there's seasons.
Yeah. Depends on your goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's super interesting. Like I just thinking about for a lot of people, it is the macros, it's the tracking, it's a lot to think about. I think for me, like I made some decent progress doing like intermittent fasting and tracking my
Yeah.
macros. And then I got off of that and then I was like stuck for like 4 or 5 years at the same weight. And I was like, yeah, like I want to gain weight. I want to gain weight. But like nothing happened until I was like, okay, let me actually like track what I'm eating. And it was like, oh yeah, I thought I could eyeball stuff, but it was not enough to hit my goal. And I would just under eat, hit the
Yeah.
like 3 p.m. like, oh, what did I have today? A protein bar? I'm at 200 calories. I should
I'm like,
probably eat something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had a coffee and some air.
Yeah.
Feel that actually. That's
Like,
me now.
hold on. Okay.
I
But yeah,
na
then
naturally, like, that's, like, how I am too, like, if
yeah.
make sure I'm thinking about it. I, like, won't eat enough, like, food. Like, I'll just eat a bunch of,
Yeah.
like,
Like
a protein
snacks.
bar and a coffee and a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, like, my instinct.
Yeah, that's weird because I grew up with like a fast metabolism. I was always like this skinny kid. So like if you put a whole like Little Caesars pizza in front of me, like I can eat it by myself, but then the next day I'll like forget to eat until 3 p.m. again, and it's just like I
Yeah.
can't eat intuitively like some people.
Yeah, I agree. I share the same sentiment, like, after which I guess we didn't talk about, but after I decided to move away from content creation
Yeah.
and I started working full-time in marketing, I lost, like, 25 pounds.
Mm.
I'm still pretty light compared to where I was. I'm not as light, but still really light. I train differently now. I do a lot of like variety. So I do like yoga on Mondays and I do Pilates a couple times a week and then I weight train,
Mm.
run every day. So like I train now more for longevity.
Yeah.
But like what is that trend was like, but there was a time. It's
Yeah,
like
something like that, yeah.
there was a time where I'm, like, eating, like, 6 servings of egg whites uncooked mixed with protein powder and a banana
Yeah.
and water and chugging it, and it was half foam, half
It's
substance.
always half foam, yeah. Try and, like, after I blend it, just kinda, like, swish it around to try and, like, get the foam
Yeah.
down.
No, but I agree. It's, like, crazy, like, I have a friend too that, like, I was, like, telling her about tracking just because she's, like, interested in, like, losing weight, and she was like, "There's no way that this is 100 grams of rice." I was like, "It is." Like, it's the same thing, you know, like, you get surprised both ways, like,
Mm.
you'll see, like, wow, like, this whole thing of cabbage and cucumber and, tomato, like, is only, like, 100 calories, and then, like, you'll see, like, oh my god, this small fry from Chick-fil-A is like 320 calories, like
Yeah, and the sauce itself is, like, 150.
yeah, so it also, like I think, like I do recommend, like, to me when I talk to my friends or, like, people in like, who, like, ask me, like, just, like, for general advice, like, now, like, not, like, in the same sense as they used to, but, um I say, like, "You should try tracking." Like, even if you don't think you're doing it right, like, just try. Because
Mhm.
you really get to see, like, "Oh my god, like, this thing that I thought was healthy because it's like a Cobb salad that I'm getting at, like, this bistro next to my job, like, this
Mhm.
salad's 700 calories."
It's that ranch.
Yeah, like, I like, half the amount of calories that I would be eating in my meals, like, outside of my snacks or, like, whatever I'm drinking, like, in the salad that I'm hungry, like, 2 hours after I eat it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think that that is, like, a good exercise, like, even for people who, like, don't find it sustainable because it just gives them perspective.
Yeah, I think everybody should, like, track for, like, 30 days or 15 days some point in their life just to get that perspective. Like,
Yeah, learn more about the
okay.
hunger cues.
Yeah.
That's a good point, like, because for me, I'm not very hungry in the morning.
Yeah, same.
And it's like, so you learn, like, you learn, like actually, now, this is, Dexcom, Stelo,
Okay. It's like a
blood
glucose monitor, something?
yeah, and so I'm really gung ho about figuring out my sweet tooth issue.
Yeah. You're not, like, anywhere close to, like, type 1, but you're like, "Let me figure out what's spiking my glucose."
I'm a marketing operations person,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
data mining
Yeah.
on myself, and
Mhm.
it's no, nowhere near diabetic. If
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
from this, I learned that, like, I actually am on, like, the lower end, probably a little too low maybe, but I'm learning, like, hey, like, I ate this, like, high carb meal, I spike, and then I feel like shit.
Mm,
Right? Like, how can I accommodate that? Like, how can I adjust my meals to spread out my carbs throughout the day so I'm not as fatigued and I don't have spikes and crashes? Like, should I go out for a like walk around like Brickell? I live in I work in Miami.
mhm.
Should I walk around Brickell like after I have my meal, for lunch or after I have breakfast, just for like 15 minutes to kind of
That
keep
helps, right, with the spike?
yeah. Yep, exactly. But I feel like tracking does the same thing, like, at a
Mhm.
smaller scale, like, obviously, you're not getting, like, your blood sugar moment to moment, but
Yeah, not as
you
much
know what
data.
you ate yesterday, you know if you were over calories or under calories, you know if you, like, ate a bunch of sugar, a bunch of fat, and, like, no carbs or no protein, and you're like, "Wow, like, I feel, like, really fatigued," right?
Mhm.
And it's like, I ate more than enough, but I feel like I feel weak. Oh, yeah, it's 'cause
Yeah.
you didn't eat enough carbs, you know, like, you
Mhm.
learn how to, like, kind of, like, acclimate your diet to, like, your hunger cues and honestly, like, what our body wants and expects, like, I know, like, there's, like, different trends, like, with the carnivore trend, like keto and
Yeah.
those, like my grandpa has done keto at least 108 times. Like, and he's been doing it since it was called the Atkins diet, like, in the
Yeah. He's
90s.
OG.
Yeah, so, I think it's worked for him periodically, like, for sure, but I also think, like, for the standard person who's, like, not really interested in maybe doing something like, on the more extreme side of the spectrum, like, just learning about, like, how nutrients impacts, like, how they feel. I think
Yeah.
when you start to feel better, when you change your diet, like, that's, like, you unlock it, and 'cause it, like, changes your brain chemistry where you're like, "Why do I keep eating like shit when it makes me feel so bad?"
Yeah. That's a super good point, and I feel like if you're not if you've never tracked before or you don't have anybody in your sphere of influence that you know that's into, like, fitness or tracking,
Yeah.
then I feel like most people, it's like, "Oh, I feel like crap. I need a nap or I need more caffeine," and I feel like that's,
Yeah.
like, the only thing that people know outside of just, like, I don't know, or just more water, but yeah.
I feel like we have, like, an epidemic about caffeine. My
Yeah.
husband consumes, like, 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. I'm like, "That cannot be good for you." Like,
Is your heart okay?
yeah, and I think it's so normalized, like, people are drinking, like, 2 to 3 Celsius a day. And it's, like, filled with stimulants. I'm a big coffee girl, I love coffee. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like a Celsius too. You know, I like the Witch's Brew Alani Nu, but,
Mhm.
like, I think it's kind of getting a little intense how much caffeine people are drinking.
Yeah, I'll have coworkers from past companies who would just be, like, on a Zoom call, and they're like, "This is my 3rd, like"
Oh.
what's there's this other brand that's also just super it's, like, basically pre-workout, it's, like, 300 milligrams. I forget what the brand is, but
Is it,
they
like,
would just, like
Monster?
is it Monster? Gosh, I can, like, see the can. I don't remember, but yeah. It's
Hmm.
basically pre-workout, and they were like, "Yeah, this is, like, my 2nd one today," and it's, like, 10 AM. I'm like, "Dude, you're just sitting at a desk, like, you gotta"
Yeah. You're not even exerting energy, like
Yeah.
no,
Like,
I
that
feel
can't
that.
be good.
No, it cannot be good for you, for
Uh,
sure.
no, but yeah, I do think that's it's kind of an unlock that's really cool to be like, "Okay, let me pop, like, a couple dates or, like, eat some fruit. It's like, my energy's low. Maybe I just need some carbs," and then it's like, "Oh, yeah, that is what it was."
Yeah.
It's, like, such a cool unlock to have.
Yeah, for sure. Like, realizing, like, hunger hunger, fatigue, like, all of those things, like, food you're happening to food.
Mm,
Food is not happening to you,
yeah.
right? Like, I feel like a lot of people feel that way, like, hunger is happening to me, like, I'm hangry, I feel sick, I don't feel great, you know? Like, there's so many things that you can do, like eating a high protein diet reduces your ghrelin, like, it keeps you satiated longer.
Mhm.
We know that carbs equal energy. If your body's a car, carbs are the gas. You know, different things like that. You know, you have sugar spikes and sugar things. Like, if you like live with those things happening to you, it can feel like you're never in control. Like,
Yeah.
when I was 12 years old, my mom took me to have an MRI because I was convinced something was wrong with me.
Mhm.
Something is happening to my brain. My head hurts. What
Yeah.
was happening to me is I wasn't drinking enough water. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dehydrated.
you don't, like, know what's going on and, like, you don't understand the way that, like, what you like, food is fuel, and so you don't
Yeah.
understand, like, how what you're eating is impacting your body. It feels like it's happening to you. Like, it
Mm.
feels like, "Oh my god, something is wrong with me, I'm sick, I'm always weak," and it's like it almost, like, feels like it's like, not condescending, but, like, it's, like, making it seem like it's not as big of a deal to be like, "Hey, if you changed your diet or if you drink more water, you'd probably feel a lot better." But
Mhm.
it's a
It
case of
sounds too
like
simple. They're like, "No, like, I got this issue."
full. Exactly, but a lot
Yeah.
of the times, like, it really is that, and I know because I was convinced that I had, like, some severe migraine issue, and it's like, "No,
Mhm.
I just don't drink enough water." And drink water, like, because that's always been a struggle of mine.
Yeah.
When I drink enough water, I'm like, I can take over the world. Like, I don't I'm you know what I mean? Like, my
Yeah.
brain fog is gone. Like, I feel like I have, like, more mental acuity, like, I
Mhm.
feel good. I run longer, I have better lifts, I am happier, like, and all of that is just from drinking enough water. And how many people are honestly, like, genuinely, like, dehydrated or, like, all they have is, like, a cup of coffee and, like, a Diet Coke, and, like,
Mhm.
that's, like, their liquid for the day, like, a lot of people I know because, like, once a week, that's literally me, like,
Yeah.
coffee and, like, a Poppy or an Olipop, and I'm like, "Ah, nice, time for bed," like,
Yeah.
feeling. So it's like, I think, like, we underestimate how much, like, what we put into our body impacts us, and so, like, we tend to, like, just assume that it can't be that simple, like you said.
Yeah. Do you know, Chris Williamson and, like, his podcast, Modern
No.
Wisdom? Oh, it's super good. Yeah, it's called Modern Wisdom. He's got, like, this British accent, and he lives in, like, Austin, Texas. But, yeah, it's a really big podcast right now. I was listening to one yesterday, and he had this guest that was talking about, like, brain health, and he
Okay.
was like, "Most people that think they have, like, some
Brain issue.
brain illness," he's like, "Just you need to, like, fix your brain health." And I think he went on to, like, talk about just, like, omegas or diet or something, but it was
Yeah.
just, like, kinda like that same things, like, it affects mood, it affects, like, so many things, and it's just can be a simple thing.
I feel like a lot of it, like, ties into, like, our relationship with food, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, grow up with food being, like and this might be a little, like, provocative to be honest, but, like, a lot of people, like, grow up with, like, food being a reward, right? Like,
Mm.
you got a good grade in school, we're gonna go get ice cream or go to your favorite
Yeah.
restaurant. Or you had a really bad day, like, it's okay, like, I'm gonna go take you to get ice cream or, like, we'll go to your
Mm.
favorite restaurant. Like, you graduated, like, let's all go for dinner at your favorite restaurant. Your birthday,
Yeah.
let's go to your
Birthday,
favorite
yep.
restaurant, like, "Hey, like, let's, like, end this cool fun day where we spent all this time, like, with having a Slurpee," or, like,
Yeah.
food is we have emotional attachments to food, right?
Yes.
And we don't, like, really see food as fuel, like, we don't see it as something that like, at the end of the day, and this is, like, kind of vulgar, but, like, you eat and it becomes poop. Like, that's all that happens, like, you literally eat stuff and it becomes something that you wouldn't even get close to touching. Like, you literally flush down the toilet as soon as you can because you don't even wanna see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what food becomes, like, these things that you have, like, these intense attachments to, and, like, I respect foodies, like, I respect, like, the community aspect and the culture, like, I'm Hispanic, I'm
Mm.
Nicaraguan, I love Nicaraguan food, right? But at the same time, for the most part, food should just be a means to an end, which is
Mhm.
to get you through the day, to keep you alive. Of course, there's a time and a place for those sorts of things, but I feel like what ends up happening is it becomes everything, and so,
Yeah.
like, I eat tinned fish. I love sardines. I didn't
Mm.
always it's not like a cultural thing or anything, but I realized that, like, they're so nutrient dense because you're eating the entire fish. Like, you're eating
Mm.
all of its organs, its eyes, you can pull out its vertebrae and eat the vertebrae, like, it's pretty
Well,
gross,
like,
but
crunchy.
yeah, it's crunchy, and so I started just taking them out of the tin and eating it, right? Because I'm like, "Wow, like, how convenient and cheap and just easy," and I just buy these tins, and I put a little lemon, whatever, hot sauce, and I just eat them, right?
Okay. You put, like, with rice or anything or just, like, straight out the can?
So, I do rice sometimes what is it called? Seaweed?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
seaweed with, like, a little thing. I eat them with don't judge me, alright? Toast, sour cream.
Hey, I'll put, like, tuna on
Yeah.
toast. Yeah.
Exactly, like, I've done a sour cream, and, like, made, like, a little dip and, like, put it on crackers, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of the time, like, I
Okay.
just put lemon, salt, pepper, and eat the sardine, because it's just easy, and then, like, I'll have, like, some fruit with it, like, for my carb or, like,
Mm.
I don't know, I have, like, sticky rice, microwavable sticky rice 'cause the macros are super easy.
Yeah.
But you would think that I murdered someone when I brought my tin fish to work. Like, you think that I complete like, I did something beyond what is acceptable, like and I get it, the smell, right? But I
Yeah.
have a little office, like, the smell stays in my office, but the looks, like, people were so disturbed at my willingness to eat sardines, right? But it's like this literally is going to turn into human waste, and it's an
Yeah.
easy way to get all the nutrients that I need. Like, I'm not gonna lie, do I like eating kale? No, like, it's not, like, really my favorite thing to eat, it's super acidic. This tastes fine, and it's just, like, an
Yeah.
easy way to get a bunch of nutrients in that is, like, more bearable, like, more palatable for me than, like, some other foods. So it's, like, interesting, like, how we some people are so against kinda, like, eating as just a means to an end
Mhm.
versus, like, more of, like 'cause that like, that's not seen as, like, sustainable, where it's like but if you just look at food as, like, "Hey, like, this is just fuel, like, this is just to get me through the day, and the what I eat and how like, when I eat it is going to impact how I feel and, like, how I perform, whether it's, like, physically or mentally," then it becomes, like, almost like a no-brainer, like, why wouldn't I eat something that's, like, more alignment with that?
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think, like, for me, also kind of like what you're saying, like, I've realized that I'm putting, like, premium fuel into my body, and I have way more energy, my mood's better, and so it's like, "Oh, how can you eat, like, ground beef and rice every day?" And just, like, you have dates or apples every day, and it's, like, the same thing, same thing. Like, I would get tired of that, and I'm like, I just like how I feel, like, honestly, if I could, I would have sugary cereal for breakfast every day, but I did that in high school and I felt like trash, and so I don't wanna do that, so it's just kind of like becomes I like how I feel, and so now it's not like a big deal to eat the same thing every day, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool unlock.
No, for sure. The same thing with, like, alcohol. Like,
Mm, mhm.
I drank I was, in Costa Rica, I drank in February, and I was like, "I'm not doing this anymore, like, I don't even like this, it makes me feel bad." Like, I don't know, I read online once, like, you get, like, a spike of dopamine when you drink, and then you deal with the crash of that, and so it's like,
Yeah.
I would always feel, like, depressed after drinking, like so I didn't drink up until July, early July, right? So, February to July, um had a couple, like, big events, and it was, like, weird to not drink at them, but
4th of July.
yeah, and, like, had some birthdays out, we're in Miami, it's, like,
Mhm.
everyone's drinking, it's like, "No, I was not gonna do it," right? I went to a work dinner and everything, on the company, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, "I've never had this fancy wine that's super expensive." I'm like, "I'm gonna drink it, like, I'm gonna take advantage of it so I can
Yeah.
try it." It was nasty.
It was nasty.
Wow, I wasted my long streak. I could have made a whole year, and
Oh,
I wasted
man.
my streak for this nasty wine, so I'm back on it, so I'm like now it's been a month again, but the first time around, yeah, it was like it's like 5 months without drinking anything, and I didn't miss it. I think that, like, you, like, have that FOMO because of, like, the camaraderie and the social
Mhm.
aspect, but, like, outside of that, like, I don't I think it's a lot easier once you're able to let go of that, because like, that's how it was
Yeah.
for me, and I felt so much better, like, I never like, I even when we would go out, like, maybe I need to sleep in a little bit to get my hours of sleep in, but,
Mhm.
like, it wasn't like, "Oh, my whole day is ruined because I'm, like, super hungover," you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's, like, the same concept. I think that one's a bit more palatable for people.
Mhm.
'Cause I feel like they're able to, like everyone knows what a really bad hangover feels like usually, so
Yeah.
they're easier it's like an easier concept to be like, "Yeah, I can see why someone wouldn't wanna deal with that."
Right.
They
Yeah.
don't understand that, like, food is, like, a similar experience, like, at a micro level, like food and hydration.
Mhm. That's true. Did you drink a lot when you were younger, like college years and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, for sure. Especially, like, early college. Like, I went to
Mhm.
UCF,
Mhm.
it's in Orlando,
Kind of
it's
a
not
party school?
school. Say again?
Kind of a party school?
It's not like FSU. It's hard to say it's not a party school because, like, we're competing against FSU, which is one of the most party schools in the whole
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
but we partied hard for sure, and, I definitely did my share, for, like, my first couple of years of college, and then I just chilled out, and I was like, "I this is not good for me,"
Yeah.
but I don't miss it at all, and I think, like, I feel so much better not drinking, and I think, like, as you get older too, like, it's more normalized to casually drink, right?
Mhm.
So it's like when you're younger, you're having, like, these acute, like, episodes of over drinking, of binge drinking,
Yeah.
which are, like, inherently more dangerous and more taxing on the body. You usually go extended periods of not drinking at all because, like, I don't know about you, but when I was in college, like, I wasn't, like, casually drinking
Yeah, it's like, for
Cosmo.
drinking, we're getting plowed,
Yeah,
like
exactly, like, you drink to get drunk, and so you have these and that's why, like, it is dangerous for
Yeah.
a lot of, like, younger kids because binge drinking is inherently a lot more dangerous, but now, as I've gotten older, a lot of, like, the people around me and my friends, like, they casually drink, so it's, like, 1 to 2 drinks maybe a night or maybe, every other night, and it's like
Mm,
that is cumulative. Like, that's
yeah.
wearing on your liver, that's, like, wearing that alcohol is very calorie dense, even though I
Yep.
feel like drinking alcohol should burn calories. Like, it feels like I'm going through something.
Yeah, yeah. Some people get, like, sweaty when they're drinking.
I feel like I'm exercising, but
Yeah.
no, it's super calorie dense, I'm sure like, then you have all these mixers, and
Yep.
so it's like I actually feel like it's more insidious as, like, in your, like, early 30s, mid-30s, late
Oh,
20s,
yeah.
alcohol socially than it is when you're younger because you have so much more accessibility to alcohol.
Yep.
You might have like just alcohol or like bottles of wine casually in your house that you're like having with dinner every night, a couple of glasses of wine, and like you don't really understand in your like conceptually or like in your perception, like how that's
Yeah.
adding up and taxing on your body, like from maybe like a physique perspective where it's like you're having these additional like 500, 600, 700 calories a day on top
Yep.
of whatever you're eating, but also, like, on your health, like, this is taxing on your liver, this is hurting, like, your, like, dopamine, like, the
Mhm.
the normalization of your dopamine and your hydration, like, so many other variables, like, everyone, I feel like, is on the same page that, like, alcohol isn't the best for your body.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody, I don't remember who, or maybe it was a podcast, but they're tracking, like, their recovery on their Whoop band, and it was like they're like, "Yeah, I noticed every time I drink, my recovery takes a massive hit, and it doesn't fully get back up to normal for, like, 3 days." And I was
Yeah,
like, "I mean, that makes sense." Like, I
yeah,
personally don't drink, and I'm like, I'm glad. I mean, you know, some people like to do it casually or socially every now and then, which I'm like, that's cool, but
yeah.
not for me. But it's just crazy to see that data. I don't know if you've ever had like a Whoop band or something like that, but if you're into the data, is that an
Yeah,
Aura ring?
an Oura Ring, yeah.
Okay, I've been looking to get one of those.
I love
Those
the
look
Oura
sweet.
Ring. 'Cause it's like, I'm not too big on, like, I have an Apple Watch.
Yeah,
I want to get a Whoop though because I'm really interested after hearing about a couple people others' experiences, but I have the Apple Watch, and I just was, like, bad about, like, keeping it on my wrist because it would, like, bother me, and I'd, like, take it on, take it off. When you go to the gym,
yeah,
you have, like, I don't know if that happens to you, but, like, you put on, like, Versa grips or, like, wraps, and you're like, "Ow," you know?
yeah, yeah,
So I like the ring because it's like I forget that it's on. I have, like, a little cover on it,
yeah,
and so it, like, protects it from, like, anything going on, and
yeah.
it's like I never have to take it off really.
That's why I wanna get it because, like, bands that have data, I've heard that the Apple Watch isn't the best compared to, like, Whoop and all
Yeah.
those other ones. But, like, I don't wanna sleep with something on my wrist because I go like this or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at the rings
Yeah.
for
You
because 'cause I'm
should
like
do it. I'm a Aura evangelist. Like,
yeah.
I got this because the Aura app told me about it, and it's, like,
Mm.
integrated, so it's, like, part of my data feed with the Aura
Oh,
Ring,
nice.
and I log my meals in Aura too, so it, like, tells me, like,
Oh.
how my biometrics are correlating with my meals and my blood sugar.
All the data.
Yes,
Give it
I'm
to
all
me.
about the data.
Yeah.
Um, and I also, like, I'm really interested in doing kind of like I haven't done this yet, but in doing, like, those tests that people do to kinda, like, look at their, like, food sensitivities and, like
Oh, yeah, I've done one of those.
yeah, the malabsorption. You've done that before?
Yeah, it's like a food sensitivity thing. I don't know. I feel like the one I did wasn't legit. They were like, pull out some hairs from your head and mail it to us. And I was like, are you sure? Like, maybe I need to like go in person and do it again.
The ones that I'm talking about are honestly stool tests.
Okay.
So
Probably, I mean, it's probably, I don't know how accurate the hair one is, but that sounds like it would work better.
I don't know the brand, but I've seen a couple of them, but everyone that I've, like, looked into so far has been, like, a stool test because it's, like, studying, like, your body's ability to, like, absorb nutrients.
Okay,
And it's,
yeah.
like, kinda, like, isolating, like, any potential, like, malabsorptions. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Malabsorptions that you might have, like, because, like, sometimes, if you have this deficiency, it, like, keeps you from absorbing.
Mm, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I don't have any food allergies personally, but I have, like, eczema, and I've struggled with, like, eczema my whole life. So, like, I've always been more interested to know, like, is there something that I eat that gives me eczema?
Yeah, I have something sort of like rash that I get periodically. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
think food's related, so that's why I got my
Yeah.
test, but
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
even, like, I, like, have, like, really dry nasal passages, and I, like, went to an allergist, and I was like, "I must be allergic to something, like, can you tell me what it is?" I did the injection one, I did the spot test, I did the patch test. She didn't put a camera up my nose, and she was like, "Yeah, you definitely have, like, allergy symptoms, but you're not allergic to anything."
Great.
Yeah, and I was okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, after, like, I couldn't, like, wash my back for, like, 2 weeks because like, I had to keep the
Oh,
things on,
dang.
and there was just nothing. She said I had, like, hay fever. Like, I was just reacting to the elements, and I was like, "But which
Uh,
elements so I can, like, keep away from them?"
the elements, all of them.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, even, like, my ear stuff, like, having congestion was a component of that, and I don't know
Mm,
why I have, like, congestion often, so it's, like, a whole thing.
yeah. Quality of life is all just so interconnected with all these things, and I think it's so interesting.
I don't know. Just I made the joke the other day, I was like, "If I was born in, like, 1800s, I'd be dead." Little Victorian child.
Yeah. No, same, honestly. No indoor plumbing? No,
No.
can't do
I
it.
would've had cholera. I would've died
Yeah,
of cholera.
yeah. Well, I know we're a little bit over time, and you're on East Coast, so I wanna be respectful of your time and your evening, but thank you again for hopping on and chatting, sharing some of your story. I think this will help a lot of people that have maybe had similar struggles or just to hear another perspective is always helpful. So I appreciate you.
Sweet. Well, thank you for the time and for inviting me. I had a great time chatting. I love to yap, so
Me too.
thank you so much, Ken. I'm sorry for rescheduling with all my ear stuff. I appreciate you being patient with me.
No, all good. I'm glad that you're feeling better. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'll let you know when this episode's dropping. This one today is episode 16, so it'll probably be a couple months. But
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the space and the time. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Thank you.